Hello everyone, this is Danish from jobskillshare.org with another IT description advisory video. And in this video, if you're brand new, go to youtube.com, click on JobSkillshare, type JobSkillshare, click on playlist, and then click on this playlist. It's IT job descriptions. So in my previous videos, we talked about help desk intern. That was the first intern job in IT, and then we moved into a real entry-level IT position where now that person actually worked like in a real position, and that there was some requirements. I talked about that, and now we're moving up. We're moving up to the Windows system administrator. Now, when I say Windows, that doesn't mean you just need to know about Windows, Microsoft type of stuff. Now, of course, your majority of your skills are going to come with Windows type of things. Maybe the environment, that's why they call it Windows, because the environment is Windows based. But that doesn't mean that every single thing is going to be Microsoft. So because there are other titles, and they can probably even more refine it, they can call you a systems engineer. So then that they will give you more of different things. Maybe you have a Windows servers running, and at the same time you have Linux server running, so that would be more of systems engineer type of title, would suit better, but in this case you're going to now move into a Windows rather than system engineer, because right now you're moving up step by step. You were in that help desk area and you were working in that Microsoft environment, because our videos are actually not about Linux at this point. Now that would be a total different career, and we will do another description videos on that, so I don't want to confuse people, because this is kind of like what a lot of people usually get jobs easily in this area. So Windows System Administrator. Now, if you look at it, remember, this is not a small, this is not a very easy type of position that you're just going to go out there and get it. You really need to work on this one, because you need to know technology from very starting till the end user. What I mean by that, you still need to know how routing and networking is configured for you to understand or troubleshoot the issue. Remember, now you're actually getting a call that help desk can resolve it, meaning the first person who went to the computer and said that, okay, you know what, I checked 2 computers, both of them are having the issue. I feel like this is not an issue with this one user. This is something little above, and I don't have access to these things, so it is your call now. So they should send it to you. So now in this case, you need to understand how things are happening. Now, why they're putting SQL in there? Remember, when you are a system administrator, you always work with some type of databases. So it is going to be, my advice to you is learn about basic database administration, because if you don't know how to do database, then let me tell you, you are going to have hard time dealing with this job, because this job, you're dealing with applications, you're dealing with servers, you're dealing with so many different type of things, maybe sometimes even in cloud technologies, and somewhere you're going to find that you need to be connecting with a database. And if there's an issue with the database, then you're going to be wasting your time trying to troubleshoot something on a front end or something else where you probably, maybe you don't know. That's why you would need to know database, because if you knew that database a little bit, then you would have easily figured out that the issue is not even on that server. Actually, it is coming from a different server. It is the server that has a database server on it, and that's where you need to really go in and troubleshoot it. Now, that was just one example. Remember, there are like VMware now, some with like the SharePoint stuff now. Office 365 is universal. A lot of people, system admin, help desk, both kind of have in a similar type of access in this, but Office 365 could be more advanced for a system administrator also when it comes to PowerShell stuff. And sometimes you may be doing things on a PowerShell and you won't be able to do that on just their front end type of thing. There are a lot of scenarios that I came across that I thought PowerShell was actually needed, and I kind of got stuck. I couldn't do anything. I need to go and find these commands and everything. I need to learn about it. So remember, PowerShell is also really good for you to learn, and that is why they're putting stuff out there that some of these things are required. So if you look into this one, it says associate degree, 3 to 5 years experience as a domain administrator supporting Active Directory structure, services, roles. Whoever put this stuff right now, they know what they're talking about, because they're not just saying you need to know about administering Active Directory. Administer is a little different than they're putting stuff in there. You need to be supporting Active Directory structure. structure, meaning the whole Active Directory, services, roles, group policy, and other Microsoft technologies in a Windows enterprise environment. And this is exactly true. You as a system administrator will be working on a lot of roles. You will be asked to create a file server, a print server, or something like that, and then the rest is going to be on the help desk side. When you actually configure it, you're going to write the documentation for it, and after that you are going to give it away to other people, because then they need to be working with you. And that's where, if they have issues on a structure side, on a role side, on a services side, on a server end, then you're going to be that person. So I see a lot of people in my platform, they come and say, I have an interview coming in next 2 days. They just call me and I need to prepare myself. What do I do with this? Now, I understand your side. You're excited about it. You get you're getting that interview and everything. But when I reply in a realistic mode also. Then, remember, guys, this is not just phase one. It's not about just you getting the call and landing a job. You may land a job, but phase two is your stress phase. If you don't know how to do these things, how are you going to fix things? And then you may lose the job very quickly too, or you may just leave it because of the stress. So remember, try to learn this stuff. Try to be prepared. At least if you see some of these things, and if you can do 60%, then I think you're ready. But if you look at it and you just applied to some position, you just did something with your resume with your friend, and they say it's okay, you're just gonna get the job like that, then of course you're looking for trouble. And with trouble, it says excellent troubleshooting right here. It says, so you need excellent troubleshooting communication. This is basic stuff. We learned that in an IT position anyways. You're going to need to know this as an IT professional. But, some of the things that I was discussing about, you need to know more than just Microsoft. And that is something, what is this Microsoft running on? And most probably it's going to be VMware or Hyper-V. Most likely it's going to be VMware. So you need to now learn about virtualization. So you see how quickly it becomes from Windows to a VMware guy right now, because there are actually jobs for VMware administrators, but then that's going to be just specifically for virtualization and VMware. But you see how system and Windows administrator are kind of like, their hands are everywhere, so you need to know a lot to be able to do this job correctly. And then you need to master this area where you need to have strong understanding of DNS, DHCP, TCP, SMTP, SNMP. Now the reason for that is that you get calls from people where they may say, oh, we changed the site, can you update the IP address in the DNS? Now, if you're clueless about DNS, how are you going to even just start with that? And if you mess up something in this area, then fixing this is pretty hard, because or if there's an issue, then how you're going to know that this is a DNS issue? We deal with sites every day. You're on jobskillshare.org. We deal with so many different sites and hostings and stuff like that, and we know the people who can deal with DNS type of issues just have hell with the with troubleshooting, because this is something very simple. If somebody knew this stuff, they could have easily figured it out and quickly finished it. But you will see people will spend hours and hours and hours just because they don't know this stuff. DHCP, I mean, if you're not getting IP addresses and everything like that, how are you going to fix it? You just need to know this stuff. You can't get away from this. SMTP and all this kind of stuff, with Exchange stuff. If there is a programmer comes to you and say, hey, you know what, we need to now we made an application, we did all the coding, but we need the address from my Exchange server, Microsoft Exchange, whatever email. We need these values. And they give you this 4-line of code, mail to, and then the server address, the IP address, and everything, port number. You need to understand this stuff. Then of course it will be easy for you to just give it to them. But if you don't know, how are you going to give them that? This is just a basic walking type of question. People will just walk by and say, hey, I need this, or maybe they'll send you an email quickly because you work with developers all the time. So then that should be a very quick answer, because it shouldn't take you a day to figure out, okay, what is this, and you're going to start Googling about this. That's not going to work for you in this position, okay? The reason I'm so realistic in this one, because I really want to tell people that this is not your first position. Don't try this position to be your first position, and that's why. How are we dealing with this? If you go to jobskillshare.org, and this portal is going to be live soon, you can see we have given skills on this: system administration, monitoring servers, securing servers, remote management, virtualization, TCP IP protocol suite. But if you go to this one, this is a pretty big one. Now in this section, we are totally relying on the lab videos and labs, because this gotta be hands-on skills. Now our IT support course is also pretty hands-on, but those are easy ones. You click here, click there, and everything is deployed, great, done, awesome, done. But here you got to learn all that stuff. So if you look at the structure of this learning path, it is going to be big one, but it's going to be very, very beneficial for you when you end with this one. And the way we designed is, if you look at the fundamental right here, it starts with the fundamental, and then it goes to server plus. But these two courses, just two courses alone, will give you a really good start in the system administration side. But then we have this rule that anywhere when something is more famous, then you have to go specific into that technology, and that is going to be in Microsoft, that you have to go to the Microsoft certification courses, and that's MCSA and all these courses. Just like in Cisco, you cannot just rely on Network Plus. You're not going to learn anything about Cisco in that. That's just very small. You have to really get into the ICND1 and Cisco CCNA, all that kind of stuff. That's where you're going to become a real engineer in networking. So that we will discuss in later on. But for now, you see, if you're going to go to installing and configuring Windows Server, then administering Windows and configuring advanced Windows Server, and then you will jump into 2016 servers, networking with 2016 servers, securing Windows 2016 server, and then later on what communities you need to join, because in this area there's a lot of communities. And that's how we finish our learning path. As you can see, with this learning path, all of this is going to be labs like these. You're going to jump into these labs, and then you first will come here and finish the fundamental one, and then you're going to come to the server plus right here. All the server plus video is actually done in our platform. If you want to, you're a Plus Premium member, you can actually get into these and watch these videos. At this point, we're not planning to create videos for the other ones, like the server administration one, but the labs are fully ready. These are full ready-made courses. It's just that you don't have video for this, but you have everything to watch, PDF, and then on the right side you can actually apply that when you're a premium member. So you can see you have to really dig like hands-on on this one. This is a hands-on career, and then after this, with the support right in the middle of these courses, you're going to know a lot about something that these type of certification don't cover, like working on Cloudflare. This is another area, working on cloud system, like just not like a learning a whole cloud administrator, because we have a whole career on that, but just you as a system administrator, how much do you need to know about cloud now to be able to do the basic things in system administration and this side without you being titled as a cloud administrator. So that's another one. And also in our partner portal, they have a lot of courses on a server side. So you may be interested in that theory. You want to learn a lot about that skills and everything. So they have a lot different type of courses also, like monitoring and operating private cloud with systems and all that. So they go beyond in these type of courses. So I'm sure all of these courses are going to be beneficial. Even 2008, still it's old. Yeah, they're getting away from that, but still these type of skills, the Active Directory skills, they are going to be the same. There's going to be more features, but that's where you're going to learn a lot if you really want to become that system administrator, system engineer later on. Then that's what you have to do. You have to follow this type of learning path where something is basic, get more into kind of like it doesn't burn you out. You learn the basics, you know what you're doing, and then you get into very detailed stuff. That's how you're going to become a system admin. So that would be my suggestion to you. In this, I did jump into Germany. I went to Germany, and I was like, okay, what are some other things that I could find in a different country? As you can see, in system administrator, they are calling for both, like Linux and Windows. And in here, they're adding more stuff like Bash, Python, or PowerShell. So just like I explained in my first a few minutes ago, that how important this is for you to learn. And even one of my videos that we are actually adding web development courses, and there's a big Python course coming soon. So this is another, I have to do another video on this, but you can see this is the Python course that is coming soon, Python course from beginner to professional, and this is the whole content. You can see how big this course is, and at the end you will be able to do like you'll be able to like create a text editor, music player application, and that's pretty much going to be like downloading a manager, YouTube manager with the GUI. So if you really want to become a system administrator and something more than that, then of course these are the courses that you're going to be taking. Hopefully you like this video. Let me know what you think.